just as we know the seasons change, we know that another cozy game will be revealed at some point, and the next one has. This one is dedicated to decorating floating islands and trying to get mystic space neighbors to move in. Just as the concept suggests, the game is cute, lighthearted, and simple. Twinkleby is the latest game from indie developers 𝔬𝕗 and 𝕬𝕗. The laid-back game has you going through multiple islands and setting up housing, and then just basically waiting for some residents to stop by. Each floating island will have a set amount of residents that will eventually show up, and each character will have their own wants and desires to get from the island. The big goal for each island is to make sure that all the residents are happy, which is actually pretty simple. Those desires that each character has will appear in thought bubbles over their heads, and these wants can range from wanting to water a garden to wanting to do an art project. All you need to do is make sure that those items are placed somewhere on the island, and eventually the resident will go and interact with them. When playing, I found that waiting for each resident to eat or read was really getting time consuming, especially when the level was basically already done. So I decided that maybe Sims players that, drown their Sims and light them on fire, maybe they're not as insane as I thought. Maybe they were right. So I ended up trapping these residents in single rooms and forcing them basically to interact with these objects to fill their desire bubbles. The most irritating situations would be when they were halfway or 2/3 full of the bubble and then they would just stop interacting and walk away. So then I decided they just don't get the option. The worst case of this was probably when I was trying to go for the achievement of having 6 neighbors sleep in the same house. I ended up trapping 4 innocent neighbors on the 2nd floor while I waited for 2 more to come in and sleep on the main floor. This is very easy if you just barricade the stairs, they can't go anywhere. Now decorating is super easy, but it can begin to feel repetitive. You can earn new items by simply playing the game. Suitcases will periodically fall from the sky. You can collect them and unlock them for new decorating items, but you do need a key. And you can get keys by either buying them from the shop, or sometimes residents will give you them as gifts whenever their desires are met. Now, the items in the box can range from new pieces of furniture to new dyes for said furniture. And if these aren't filling your desire for new furniture, you can also just go to the shop and get more furniture. The good thing about the shop is all the pieces are sectioned by theme or by where in the house you would find them. There are pieces for basically everything you can think of, from all of the greenery, from decorating the outside to kitchen tables and glorious looking food. I got very hungry playing this game. And even bookshelves and pianos. I love that I can just go to the shop and sort out by theme or room type, and whenever I found something that I want to buy, I could buy as many copies as I could afford. There doesn't seem to be any limit or cap on how many items you can get, and this means that you can make your islands look as wacky and weird as you want. Keep in mind, if you are an achievement hunter, there is an achievement for putting 50 identical items on your island at the same time. I personally did that with shrubs, but I would love to see what other people want 50 copies of on their island. Now to the actual decorating actions. To decorate, you simply grab an item from your sidebar, your storage, and place it wherever you want on a grid. Now, I think that the grid system is pretty good in this game. A lot of indie games that I've played that have decorating grid systems can be a bit wonky. I really only ran into a handful of occasions to where it didn't sit right where I wanted, and most of this happened to be with the drapes or the shades for windows, and the windows just didn't happen to be the proper dimension for those drapes. Overall, Twinkleby felt pretty smooth to play, and I really loved how you put the items back into your storage, which is one of the main points that they have on their Steam page, and that is you simply chuck it off the island. That is right, throw the item into the abyss and it magically goes back into your storage. This is by far the funniest mechanic I've seen in this game and any other decorating game. And I think that this showcases the fun and weird personality of the game perfectly. And once you complete enough of the game, you actually unlock a black hole that sucks up everything outside of a house on your island. And if you want to get rid of the house itself or everything in it, you just pick up the house and chuck it into the abyss as well. By the end of my run through of playing this game, I spent a lot of time grinding out stars to complete levels and trying to get different achievements, so I started to be really good friends with this black hole. It's a very helpful tool if you want to be an achievement hunter. Now, throwing items and houses into the abyss is not the only thing that you can do. If you are trying to hunt down all the neighbors or just simply don't vibe with one that's on your island and you want them gone, you can simply chuck their bag off the island. This does cause a very sad animation with them realizing that they've been kicked off the island, going through shock, sadness, running to the edge with tears streaming down their face and jumping off the island and propelling down with their umbrella. I was heartbroken when I first saw this animation, but I wanted to see if I would get an achievement for kicking someone off my island. Was it worth it? I don't know. I was really sad after. So will you have to kick out some of your neighbors? Maybe, but that is the price you pay if you want to find those rare neighbors and get all of those achievements. Be prepared for some tears. Now, one of my favorite aspects of the design is the color. Now, I mentioned earlier that you can get some colors for your furniture, and this is one of the best parts of the customization. Basically, everything has a color palette, from every piece of furniture to even the walls of your house, and you can also customize the floor designs. Sadly, the roof seems to be locked to its default color, but everything else can be customized. The furniture customization paired with certain items such as tables, getting full themes and decoration built into it makes it really cool and really easy if you're going for certain specific themes or styles. Now, like I said, these colors do have to be unlocked through falling suitcases, which is kind of annoying because you can't buy them in the store, at least to my knowledge. I never saw being able to buy a color in the store, so that is a bit of a bummer, and it will be a slightly longer wait to get all the colors. Now, one thing that I didn't think that I would love so much when I discovered it in the game is the control you have of the scene. Now, the game basically gives you full control of the weather, the time of day, and the season. Once you unlock them, of course. But luckily, unlocking everything with the scenery is natural progression, and you don't have to buy it in the store or wait for it to drop from a suitcase. Getting to do this, in addition with figuring out how much lighting you want inside your room, makes this ideal if you are someone that takes a lot of pictures of your designs. I personally don't usually take a lot of pictures because I'm not super creative. I tend to have maybe one or two ideas, but in this game, because the customization is so vast and there's so many items that gave me inspiration for different rooms, plus the scenery making it just look really pretty, I ended up having a lot of photos taken in this game. I enjoyed the game a lot, and I really like that it gives players true freedom for how they're designing the island. There are so many items to buy in the shop, and getting the currency is super easy, so don't be afraid to go and buy out everything until you have no money left that round. I never really felt like I had to grind for currency, and I was able to, by the end of it, easily buy out the entire shop, buy 50 identical items, literally everything. I didn't have to worry about money. My time spent in the game was filled with primarily designing, while also seeing how many achievements I could get by simply playing the game. And then once I got about halfway through, that is when I pulled up the Steam page to see if I could, intertwine getting an achievement or two with how I was naturally playing the game. Now, this was actually super fun, and it made me kind of change up how I was playing the game, because halfway through I did feel myself start to get into a loop of doing the same thing each time, and I didn't want to make myself get bored because I wasn't creative enough. So Steam achievements really helped that, and by far my favorite one was get all villagers full happiness without having a house. So immediately the next level I chucked the house and started decorating with just the grass. Now, at first I was trying to aim for 100% because I was just popping achievements left and right, and it was so fun, but I ran into two issues. So one, you need a bundle that is no longer in shop. So I think that was a limited time bundle, in addition to the pumpkin Halloween themed bundle that I was able to get. The addition of limited time themed bundle item achievements kind of soured me on that because I would never be able to get 100%. Now, I did think about maybe getting 99% and then going and begging the devs to figure out how I could get the achievement to get 100%, but that was also squashed by the second thing. There are a bunch of hidden achievements, and I have no idea where to start because I feel like I've gotten all of the rare villagers. I've gotten every single item that's in the shop. I feel like I've done so many things, and I still have like 22 hidden achievements, so that kind of broke my spirit a little bit. So I don't know where to start, and I don't want to burn out on the game, so I just decided to leave it at I got basically all of the knowledgeable achievements, the open ones, except for the moon. I forget exactly what it is, the moon something themed bundle that I believe I missed Probably not by a lot of days, which makes me really sad. So I do say complete the game, don't 100% the game from my personal recommendations. Now, overall, I think the game is a great cozy decorating game. I think that the art style is really cute. I like the addition of all of the different residents that you can get. I like the addition of having to kind of tailor the island to their needs, but you don't need to tailor it to a specific theme. It's just you need to have some items that they will like. I do kind of like that it gives you that open embrace yourself kind of feeling. I do wish that there was a mode to where there was residents requesting certain themes, like anything from I want a pink themed room to I want a seaside themed room. Something like that I think could have been a great addition, because I personally like to kind of be handheld and guided to what the residents would like. But I digress. I think that the game is still really fun. I love the scenery, that you can change it and customize it even more. The color palettes for basically everything. It's just a really open game that you can basically do anything with. I definitely give this game a solid 4 out of 5. I think that it's really good. And I think that people that like cozy games, you like decorating games, would just be able to chill with this for a long time. Now, if you like games like Make Room that also recently came out, which I will get a review on that soon, or maybe you like The Sims and want a bit more chilled back experience, I think that this game is a perfect niche in between the two types of games. It's just super simple, super cute, and it's a chill game where you decorate and you don't have to be great at interior design to get an adorable room in the end. So let me know in the comments, what did you think of Twinkleby? Do you like it? I think it's adorable. Do you agree? Let me know, what is your favorite decorating game? I would love to get more into these decorating games. I never really played a whole lot as a kid, and I feel like there's so many that are going under my radar that I don't know about. So please leave your recommendations down in the comments below, and let me know if you've wishlisted this game. It is on Steam, so if you do like it, please go wishlist it. It helps indie devs out so much when you wishlist the game. It lets Steam know that there is traction behind the game and to push it more. But that's basically it for today. If you like my content and want to see more of it, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't lose me in the sea of YouTube content. And with that, I leave you to have a great rest of your day. Bye guys.